different people can go and you can buy and sell things. There will be a bar there, but currently there aren't any plans for a player-run bar.
Can you elaborate on lifetime insurance?
Thou shalt never die.
Well, I mean, lifetime insurance just means that the pledge ship you bought has its hull insured. So if you get into a combat and it gets blown up, then you'll start back on your sort of closest base planet or closest safe planet, and you will get your hull back. But any of your upgrades or cargo that you had, you'll have lost unless you bought supplemental insurance for it. But the difference between lifetime insurance and what will be later in the game is that you just have insurance forever. You don't have to purchase it, whereas a player that buys the retail version will buy his ship and it will come with 2 months or 3 months of hull insurance, and then after that they have to rebuy it. Otherwise, they run the risk of, if they lose their ship, they'll lose the hull as well. Which is fine. It's their choice. It's like driving a car. Do you want to insure it or not insure it?
Will docking be automatic or skill-based?
Well, I think it's going to be a combination of both. So you'll be able to dock manually, and you'll also be able to have a docking computer that will help you out. And some of the more advanced and more expensive docking computers will make it pretty much automatic. But if you've got, you're at the sort of lower end of the line, then you kind of have to pilot it yourself.
What are your thoughts on player-made and operated UEE military outfits?
Well, I don't know if the UEE would be very happy about the militia, I guess. I mean, is that the question, or is it like, are we talking about like building ships and stuff like that?
I think like people coming together to form their own squadron and role-playing as a military unit rather than as freelancers.
I think we would definitely have missions that would be sort of mercenary supplemental missions where the UEE needs to fight back the Vandal or do something, and they would put the call out and hire people to supplement their forces. But in terms of people getting together and role playing as part of the UEE military, I think that we probably wouldn't support that, but we may have some level of feature which may or may not be in the initial release that will sort of allow a better integration of signing up and doing a tour of duty with the persistent universe. That's kind of what Squadron 42 already does, but I think people kind of want the ability to sort of do that after the story campaigns ended. So we'll have to think if there's a good way to do that.
Will there be any big wars between story campaign factions in the multiplayer universe?
Definitely. So we're going to try and we've tried to set up a pretty interesting galaxy, and we're going to we'll as the game masters or the dungeon masters, however you want to say it, we'll have some of the bigger factions have conflicts with each other, and then the players can join in, and the players' actions hopefully will sort of impact how those conflicts turn out, and that will determine sort of how we take parts of the story or the development of sort of political success of various groups based on what players are doing.
How will landing on planets work, and what are your thoughts on atmospheric flight?
Well, landing on planets right now are going to be automatic, so it'll be sort of like privateer or freelancer, where you're essentially say, am I clear to land? And if you are clear to land, you'll see an in-engine cinematic of you going down through the atmosphere and then landing on a pad. So atmospheric flight would be very cool, and the engine ultimately can support it. It kind of already supports it, but it's really a content issue. So I doubt that we will have, there won't be any atmospheric flight in Star Citizen at the beginning. There may be a couple of ground missions in Squadron 42, haven't decided yet, but it'll be mostly in space. But long term, that would probably be something that we may sort of work towards, but it certainly won't be in at launch.
Okay. What about mini games like poker, pool, chess, etc.?
I think mini games are very cool, but we've already got a lot of things to get done. So If we've got a rockstar programmer that comes on one weekend and programs poker for down in the space bar, then maybe it'll be in. But I'm not making any promises at the moment because just getting all the ships and everything in space and everything we promised is going to be a huge amount of work.
Question: can you expand a bit on the newly released bombers? Thinking of pledging, but would like more info. I can probably do that.
Well, yeah, no. Well, go on, Ben. Here, you take some of these.
Oh, okay. So
you may need to be louder than I am because the loudspeaker's over here.
So the Gladiator is a carrier-based bomber, similar to like a World War II dive bomber, like a Devastator or Dauntless or something. And the other one, the Retaliator, is based on like a strategic bomber, like a B-17. So you'd crew it with multiple people, and the idea is it's like a surplus ship that's being sold off to civilians, and you can mod it from the original military spec, basically. So it's a two-person bomber versus a crewed one. It's the essential difference. I do another question. When is the site coming back? We site will be back soon, we hope. What kind of interaction can we expect to have with our avatars on the constellation? Will there be a form of character customization?
Yeah, no, definitely character customization. So you'll be able to choose the sex of your character, and you'll be able to choose the appearance to a certain level, and also some level of what your character's wearing. It's not going to be nearly as involved as you would see in Skyrim or in APB, but it will allow you to do a certain amount of customization of your avatar.
Well, people are saying they can't hear, needs more gain on the mic.
The distance between that mic and you is quite far.
Hang on,
You just slouched back in your chair.
Alright, okay, Mr. Sound Guy. I'll just move the volume up, let's see. Alright, is that better for everyone?
You guys hear now? Say something if you can.
Hello.
Yes, it's just fine, they say.
Yeah, okay. It was set at like half. I put it up to pretty much max gain.
Will Cloud Imperium be attending Gamescom in Germany?
Yes, we're going to try. I think we're going to go to Gamescom and we're going to go to PAX. So we're probably going to focus on going to the places that are open to the public versus E3, which is a professional one. And for our backers, we'll have a room or a booth or something where people can actually come in and see the work so far, and we can interact together. It's kind of one of my goals.
Will the UE military be dynamic?
We just became friends.
I guess they're wondering if the NPC factions in the universe will respond to, like, if players start pirating in one area versus another.
Yes, definitely. Yes. So the government and the UEE and other factions are totally dynamic, and they will respond. So if there is too much piracy in one area and it's meant to be a safe area, there will be increasing military presence and law enforcement presence.
Can you give us some details on what the persistent economy will be like, how it will work?
Well, that's another one of those how long is a piece of string questions. But no, I mean, so I mean the fundamental core of a dynamic economy is that you have supply and demand. So if you're going and too many players are flying iron ore into a manufacturing planet, then the price of iron ore is going to drop dramatically.
They want the volume turned down now.
No, they want the top. It's too much, it's too little. I feel like Goldilocks. Alright, hang on a sec. Down. Alright, is that better now?
How's that now, guys?
You better talk to let them figure out if it's too loud or too quiet.
Oh, I just said that. Is that better
Yes,
now?
they say it's better.
Okay.
What's your policy on interfering with players? Will it be similar to EVE, completely hands-off approach? leaving the players alone.
In terms of what? Interfering in terms of us as the masters of the universe that direct some NPCs towards players that are
Like
doing bad stuff.
Move the
Yeah.
planet out of the way, or just change stuff up on the players that they don't like.